Hey guys, welcome to the video. This is the first video of this channel, which is I don't know what I'm gonna make the name, but it's probably gonna be Reign of something. This channel is gonna be about self-improvement. The three aspects of life, which is like looking good, it's your financial, and it's your mental health status, all that. So this is gonna be like my journey to increasing in all these three things, because this is really all I do. I realized I just watch YouTube on self-improvement like all day. That's what I listen to when I'm driving. I don't really listen to music, and I'm a delivery driver, so driving is like a big part for me, and I commute, so it's really just like an all-day thing for me. So I thought, why not give this a shot? So there's going to be a lot of videos that are going to come out of this one, because I'm going to talk about a lot of different little aspects of life that I'm going to be trying to better myself in. One that I've been working on right now is my dating life. I know it's kind of cringe, but whatever. So yeah, I'm on the dating apps. I just got out of a year-long relationship, a little over a year, but maybe I'll talk about that later. So basically right now I'm just messing around with the dating apps and trying to meet new people. I have a date today, so that's really exciting. I'm not really expecting it to go anywhere, and I think that that is a good mindset. Obviously you want it to go somewhere, but the whole idea that you're not expecting anything to come out of it is what I think all men should have, and that's what I've gotten from all the research that I've been doing. Because if you expect something like, oh my god, this girl's so hot, or I really think that this could turn into something, you're putting like a lot of pressure on the date. So that's a really bad thing to do. What you want to do instead is be your genuine self, and you want to try to make them as comfortable as possible, so you guys could both be genuine. Because in the end, let's say it does work out and you're not being genuine, then that's not really you and the other person. That's just a false persona. And obviously you want to be yourself around whoever you're spending your life with. So yeah, that's how I'm handling the situation. Another big aspect that I notice a lot of people in my age group, I'm 18 by the way, so I got this as soon as possible. This is the Discover It card. So this is a really, probably amongst the best, if not the best, beginner credit card. It has no annual sign-on cost. Yeah, this is the secured, by the way. That means you pay basically to get the card, but the money that you pay, I paid $200. That means my credit line is $200. So what that means is I can't spend more than $200 on the card. So I wouldn't want to do that, because that uses the whole credit line, which is $200 in this case. And you want around 10 to 20%. So for me, that would be $20 to $40. So what I did was I just bought some flowers. I know, cringe, whatever. I just bought some flowers from Safeway, and I gave them to my mom. They're on the counter right now. Maybe I'll show them. I'll edit them in right here. I'm gonna mess around with my editing skills. That's another thing I'll be talking about. But anyways, that is a little under. That's probably around like 9%. I could be doing the math wrong easily, but basically at the end you want to spend 10 to 20, and then 10 to 20% of your credit line, and then you want to pay it on time and in full at the end of the month. The most important thing is you want to pay it on time and in full at the end of every month, or whenever your payment is due. Another big thing I want to talk about on here on this YouTube channel is mental health. It's not something that is really talked about for men, really. It is becoming more talked about and popularized nowadays, but it's really not where it should be. And I think everybody should be on self-improvement. That's just me. Like I said earlier, the three aspects of life: looking better, your status, aka the financial, and then your mental health. So yeah, mental health is a really important thing, because it really just dictates how you take life, and it can affect your physical being as well. And it could be very self-detrimental to have bad mental health. So it's really important to just have good mental health. It's really important to self-improve, so you're not in a poor place in your life. You always want to be moving up in life. You never want to be moving down. The worst place you want to be is at the same place. So I brought this up because, like I said earlier, I went through a breakup recently. It was around 2 months ago, so like right before my birthday. Anyways, so we broke up, and then obviously it was my first relationship, so that was really tough for me, and I didn't really talk about it with anyone. But that's what this is for me. I guess this is like journaling for me, or talking to someone. So I'm really trying to solve that by meeting new people. I'm not saying I'm trying to rush in a new relationship. That's really toxic, and you don't want to do that. But there are other people out there, and you really can't get hung up over this one person. Like, there's billions of people on the planet, and half of them are female. So you really can't get hung up on one person. There's probably like an exact copy of that person somewhere else on the planet. But the mindset that if it didn't work out, then it wasn't meant to be, it's really important. And I think for getting over someone or anything at all, no contact is the best way, the fastest way, the healthiest way to do that. So basically that means I'm not messaging my ex after I break up. After, whether it was I break up with her, she break up with me. Not messaging. Not looking at her Instagram story. Not looking for her around school if you're in school. You just cut off contact completely. So this takes them out of your life completely. And in the end, that's what's going to happen. So it's like a shortcut. But the main reason it works is because it removes all the triggers that you have in your mind to think about that person. They're not around you, so how can you think about them? You don't see them, you don't like read their story on Instagram, you don't have your friends talking about them, so how could you like think about them? But you can't just, the point of this is not just to not think about them. You have to get over it yourself. That is something completely of its own nature. You can't just ignore the problem. That's not good for your mental health, and we're trying to improve our mental health. So what do you do? Comment below if you have any ideas, or if you have any problems in this video, like you relate, or I don't think that's true, or here's a better way. I'd really love to know these things, so leave a comment. But anyways, how do you do this? How do you move on? So, like I said, no contact. Life keeps going. The world doesn't stop for you, unfortunately. But that's how it is. And if you think about it as an unfortunate thing, then that's just going to lower your mental health too. You always want to think about things so that they help you. Like, oh, the world doesn't stop moving for me just because I'm sad. So maybe I should just move on with the world. Like, maybe I should just keep moving. If they broke up with you in the first place, I just want to say that means it wasn't meant to be, and they're not good enough for you. You're on this channel, so you're clearly in the self-improvement. So they're not good enough for you. I don't know what happened. It's none of my business. But you just got to move on. It wasn't meant to be. Another big thing that I want to talk about on this channel, which this guy Vin on Instagram and YouTube, who I really like, has been popularizing the idea of communication and being able to portray your thoughts, as well as Vin and as well as Jordan Peterson. I see they're like really good examples of this. And this is something I notice a lot in younger people, even maybe some older people. So I'm 18, I'm still in college right now, and in my English class, English is really about thinking, like critical thinking and analytical thinking, and writing, which is just expressing your thoughts. And if you don't have clear thoughts and you don't have clear writing, you can't have a clear argument for your side, you can't really do anything. So it's really, really important. Like, if there's one skill that you need to have, it's to be able to communicate your thoughts clearly. It's not about manipulating them to believe you or convincing somebody, but you need to be able to portray your thoughts clearly. The reason that's so important is because people can't read your mind. Like, it's that simple. People cannot read your mind. Some people actually get the opposite idea of what somebody's actually thinking because they're so bad at expressing their thoughts that they just they give the opposite argument that they're trying to give. Or maybe they're making a counter argument and they make that stronger than their argument. It's like, well, that wasn't very clear. What are you trying to say? I guess a more common example of this, which is kind of something we already talked about, but I really want to go into it in depth right here somewhat. So let's say you're in a relationship. Obviously, you have to communicate. Hopefully you know that. But if not, that's fine, because now you do. So you have to communicate your values, your limits, your boundaries. Or like, hey, that wasn't okay. You can't just sit there and like act differently and hope that they notice. So what you have to do is tell them. Like, you really just have to grow a pair in some cases. You have to be a man, which is what this channel is all about. You just have to tell them. Like, it's not as big as you make it seem in your head. The hardest part of doing something is getting started. And I'm doing that with this YouTube channel right now. Like, I don't really know what I'm doing right now. I'm just talking and being myself. And maybe you don't know what you're doing when you're telling them your boundary. You don't know how to express yourself, let's say. Maybe you have some like trauma as a kid and you're just really bad at expressing yourself or your actual feelings. Something that I had, but I got over it. So you just need to practice. You need to practice your communication. Maybe read, maybe watch communication videos from maybe me or Vin or Jordan Peterson. Just watch how they express themselves. A good tip I have for finding a way to express yourself, or like whether it's verbally or in your fashion style or whatever, is to find a model. Not like a supermodel, but like somebody who you like their communication style. For me, I already made it pretty clear that it was Vin and Jordan Peterson. I really like their communication style because Vin is like more humorous and more expressive, and he really slows down when he talks. He has a lot of expressions like that. Jordan Peterson is just like really clear and educated on his whatever he's talking about, just a very wide variety of topics, really. And that's really inspiring to me. Another kind of model that I'm trying to look like in this case, like a supermodel or an actor in my case, is Henry Cavill. Like, I'm kind of growing my hair out, and I really don't usually have facial hair, but I'm really trying to grow some right now. So if I look like shit, then that's why. But besides the fact, I really like his style. And honestly, his communication styles and his shows, I kind of like too. I'm very introverted, and I really talk slow, and I really keep to myself a lot. But the whole idea here is it's a lot harder to do what you want to do if you don't know anybody that's doing it. You need to find somebody that already has what you want, and you need to basically copy them. You have to find somebody. You have to find somebody to copy. You can choose me, you can choose a YouTuber, you can choose a supermodel, you can choose an actor. It doesn't matter. You can just choose like your older brother or your dad. Like, really. You have to find somebody to copy unless you have a really clear goal. Another huge model that I have is Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, he's really he did really, really good in 3 things, which was like bodybuilding, movie star, and then politician. And those are like not even in the same ballpark at all. Maybe you could say bodybuilding and movie star is kind of the same, I guess, but like politician, that's a completely different game. So that is like incredibly inspiring, and it just shows us that you can do anything. You just have to shoot your shot. So I'm really trying to shoot my shot right now, and I just making this video trying to help you shoot yours. Get the confidence to shoot your shot, because if you don't, then you're always gonna miss. So all right, I gotta get going to my college class now. Don't forget to drop a like, leave comments on anything really, because I'm really trying to learn here. That's the whole point of this. But don't forget to subscribe. Help me out here. I'm trying to grow. I'll see you in the next video.